In this video, I'm going to show you how to clean the flame sensor in your furnace. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Let's go change and get this done. Come on. In the owner's manual for my furnace, and several others that I've looked at, under the maintenance section, it says something to this effect. Under some conditions, the fuel or air supply can create a nearly invisible coating on the flame sensor. This coating acts as an insulator, causing a drop in the flame sensing signal. If this occurs, a qualified servicer must carefully clean the flame sensor with steel wool. All that means is that sometimes it gets dirty and it needs to be cleaned. The reason that it points out that it needs to be a qualified person is because if you do it wrong, you can actually make it work worse or not at all. So I'm going to try and teach you the things to do and the things to avoid so that if you want to, you can clean your own flame sensor. If you're not handy and you don't feel comfortable trying this, leave it to an HVAC technician. If you have your furnace serviced every year, hopefully they'll clean it as part of that service. First thing you want to do is shut power off to the furnace and remove the doors, exposing the burner assembly. This is where we're going to find the flame sensor. Look for a hard black pipe, that's a gas line, and follow it inside the furnace and see if you can see where it goes. If you look here, you can see where the flame is hitting the steel rod. And like we mentioned earlier, sometimes you're creating an almost invisible barrier on the rod that stops it from being able to sense the flame. So we want to clean that off. Now, be sure that you're removing the flame sensor and do not mix it up with the igniter. The flame sensor usually has one wire coming off of it and the igniter usually has two. Once you're sure that you have the flame sensor, disconnect the wire from the back of the flame sensor. Next, remove the screw that's holding the flame sensor in place. Be careful only to touch the porcelain part of the flame sensor and not the steel rod. Steel wool seems to be universally accepted and recommended by manufacturers, but I've seen and heard all kinds of things from technicians out in the field, but I recommend that you stick to whatever the manufacturers say. So refer to your furnace's owner's manual if you have questions, but you should be safe using steel wool. Remember, you're only holding the flame sensor by the porcelain, and the steel wool is creating a barrier between your fingers and the steel rod. Now, even though we're cleaning this, we're not trying to apply a lot of pressure and scrubbing the thing clean. Think of it more as trying to polish it. So put the steel wool between two fingers, and while holding the flame sensor in the other, rotate the steel wool around the steel rod while applying even pressure. Clean the entire surface of the rod. Reinstall the flame sensor and reconnect the wire. Now, if you were cleaning the flame sensor because you tested it and it was reading out of range, at this point you would want to retest the flame sensor to see if cleaning made a difference. Oh wow, that started recognizing flame a whole lot faster than when it was dirty. Put the doors back on and turn the power on. Some manufacturers recommend that you proactively clean the flame sensor each year as part of the annual maintenance. I personally don't see the harm in doing that if you do it correctly, and now you know how to do it correctly, so you can do it yourself if you want to. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, good luck with your next project. And remember, if you ever feel like you've gotten in over your head, it's okay to stop and call a technician you trust for some help. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.